Hello and welcome to Newsmax TV. I'm John Bachman. Joining us right now is Robin Kelleher. She's the president and CEO of Hope for the Warriors. She helped start the organization in 2006 to help wounded post 9/11 vets and their families, as well as families of the fallen. She also works with several other veteran support groups, and it's great to have you with us today, Robin.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
We're happy to have you. And most people right now are getting excited about Memorial Day weekend, heading to the beach and barbecues. But I know that you want to talk about what this holiday and what this weekend is really about, and that's honoring the men and women who have died while serving in the armed forces. What is the best way for people to do that this weekend?
We have a number of events that people can participate in to show their support of the service members who are there. They can also make donations. You can just say prayers for the military families that are experiencing all of the deployments and stressors that they are under now. But most importantly, being aware of the fact that Memorial Day is just one day, and our service members and their families serve every day of the year. So it's a wonderful way to say to everyone, please don't forget us 364 days of the year.
Yeah, and that's a responsibility that we all have. Talk to us about some of the most pressing challenges right now facing veterans returning from war and the families of these veterans.
Okay, so if you look at, first of all, just the multiple deployment cycles that each of our military families is undergoing, you can see that just from the very beginning that it's a tough life to be a military family now, and that includes the children and the families and the relatives. So there's a lot of time away from each other, and that time's crucial in family development. So you start looking at how that wears our family members down and their ability to provide the kind of support that they would be able to provide better if this was only happening once or twice in a span of 10 years. And then you couple that with our service members coming back, having been exposed to things that over and over and over again, whether it's explosions, whether it's the death of comrades, whether it's lack of sleep, again, all these situations that they see on a daily basis, and to be under constant stress for an entire deployment. And then they come home and things aren't necessarily like they were when they left, and people have grown up and things have changed a lot, and that's a real stressor for them as well. And there's the time that's needed for those families to reunite. Typically, that's a very short period of time before it's time to look at a redeployment again. So you're seeing that the families are really working pretty hard to try to just stay together as family units and support each other, but it's a very difficult time to do that. Now you add additional issues in when our service members are wounded or give their lives in action. And then you see that the family needs even more support, and that the service members need more support than we have to offer at this point. So in the daily activities of the life and the situations as it is, there's a tremendous amount of stress and issues that they face. Now you couple that in addition to sequestration and the budget cuts that have been made on the military and the family programs that have been eliminated. And we're seeing more and more needs with less and less people able to donate. So it's become a really difficult situation for our military families, and I think it's extremely important for people to understand that.
Sure, right. And we've also heard these stories about these year-long waits and a backlog for Iraq and Afghanistan vets waiting to hear back from the VA about their benefit applications. There have been promises all the way to the top, to the White House, but there's still a lot of work to be done. What should people do, perhaps folks that are watching this right now, to maybe put a little more pressure on Washington to get this moving? Because I know this is just devastating so many vets who are trying to get these benefits that they've earned, but they can't seem to get them because of an antiquated process or complications, whatever may be the reason. But what should people do to try and maybe put a little pressure on Washington to get this moving?
So we work very closely alongside the VA and feel like that is a very crucial key in our service members, veterans' lives. With the backlog, we're going to see more and more of that because we have more that are transitioning into the civilian world. The thing that's very important to us, though, are those veterans that are not accessing those VA services. And so the communities and people alongside them can also say, you've got you do have benefits that are available to you, but you have to access those or you will lose those benefits. And I know that doesn't quite answer the question on how do we put some pressure on Washington. I think it's important to note that there is a lot that is being done to offer amazing amounts of benefits through the VA that, again, are not being accessed, and that perhaps our veterans can take some time to get to know the VA and their benefits better so that they know what is available to them.
And that's a great point. I might be oversimplifying the matter a little bit, but as you mentioned, it's important that each community work with the veterans in their community and find out and help them learn what's available and help them work towards making things a little bit easier on them. Now, we talked about this a little bit, in the beginning, but it should go without saying that you don't need a federal holiday to focus on ways to help folks who have sacrificed for this country. There are also a lot of service members out there, of course, that need our help. Tell us about the Above and Beyond program right now and why the need is so great.
Our Above and Beyond program focuses on the transition to successful civilian life. And that includes career counseling, resume writing, but also providing the additional support services that are needed to ensure that that transition is successful. So it's a very comprehensive program in that we are introducing and opening up different corporate possibilities for our service members or extended learning. They also have the opportunities to look at entrepreneurship and be guided through that process, and going back to school and taking advantage of their GI benefits is all the things that we talk about and that we work with them on through this program. But in order to be able to do that successfully, we need to ensure that all of the other elements of their life are in place and that those are being well supported also. So it's a lot more comprehensive than just an employment transition program. And I think that's important to understand because on the other side, we're also working with small companies and large corporations on educating them on military culture. There's a wonderful opportunity for service members to be tremendous assets in the civilian sector. As long as the civilian sector understands the military culture and what it is that they're trying to hire, then you've got a win-win handoff. And that's what we're also trying to implement with this program.
Yeah, it sounds like it's really needed right now, and I know 60 Minutes did a profile recently on an organization that's working with some of these vets and the entrepreneurial aspects of their professional lives, which is very, very important, and also important what you mentioned there about the cultural differences between someone that's coming from the military and someone who hasn't no military experience. This is a responsibility that we all have, and I know you take it very seriously, and as does your organization, Hope for the Warriors. Robin Kelleher, thank you so much for being with us, and thank you for watching Newsmax TV.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you having us on.
It's our pleasure.